What's up, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you here with this Labor Day special of our most popular deck so far, which has been my Crusadias. And I have to tell you guys, I've continued to love this deck, and it does really well. I cannot complain at all. Its OTK and the combos it has is just so extraordinary. So anyway, this is a happy Labor Days to all you guys out there who are celebrating. I chose to work because, you know, time and a half for all of us working folk is really nice. But without further ado, I'm just going to kind of jump into it and explain to you the few updates that I've made since the last profile. And since the list, we don't know when it's ever going to drop. This is the list I have now, and then when it does drop, I'll get a new profile out for you guys as soon as I can. But there's a few changes made to the extra and a few changes made to the main. And in this profile, I'm going to show you guys my side deck. So first, we'll just go ahead and get into it. And also, guys, I will leave her a comment. I will leave her email down in the description below. The Amber, she is at our local store, which is Game Time in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. She makes fully customizable field centers. You can have pretty much anything you want. She can do it. If you guys can't see, but if you guys can, I don't know, I can't see you guys on the camera. This right here border is not your typical field center border. It's green, and then the extra zone's black, and this extra monster zone is white. It's varying. You can flip it around on this side, and it's equal max. She just does a phenomenal job. So I will leave a description to the Game Time website and her email down below. So please hit her up. She is really affordable, and she does such a remarkable job. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So you play. You always play 3 Maximus. If you guys don't remember, when this deck first came out, people were playing 2 of this guy. And that's totally incorrect. This guy is what allows you guys to do your OTKs. It is what allows you to win the game, technically. He is just so good. He's also a level 4, which combos off with Arborea to make your level 7 FA Dawn Dragster, which is a form of negation. And also, let's not forget that his artwork is just so sick. All the Crusadia's artwork are so cool. Every Crusadia video I will make, I will always say this. I wish they would have stuck with his OCG name, which was Vast Sky. I thought that would just be really. I think personally that's just a good. It'd be really lore related, and it would just be a cool name. But after that, you play the next best card, in my opinion, is 3 Draco. You know, Mduk, the World Chalice Guard Dragon, all grown up now. He's really good. If you guys don't know what he does, when he is summoned, he lets you add back any Crusadia card from your graveyard to your hand. He's also a chain blocker, as in the sense of you can make him chain link 2 and your Crusadia Link monsters chain link 1. So he is really good for blocking and allowing you to resolve what you want. And he has a pretty good sized booty, so you can set him if you have to, but the level does matter here too, because he's also another monster you can make your FA Dawn Dragster with. Now on to the next kind of good card in my opinion is Arborea. So Arborea here, she just has the same effect as all Crusadia monsters. If you guys don't know what all Crusadia monsters' same effect are, they can special summon themselves from the hand to a zone a link monster points to. But her effect is a protection effect, kind of like Return the Two Dragon Lords without the revival. It says whenever a Crusadia monster or monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can just banish her from the graveyard or field, which I think is very important, has come up once. You can save them. She's also a level 3 tuner, so when Needle Fiber comes out, we'll have some pretty crazy plays with that. Other than that, she's really good for synchroing for FA Dawn Dragster, which is another form of negation that you can end on first turn. Or if you can't OTK, it's a form of negation you can end on to kind of seal the deal. But 3 of her. 3 Leonis. If I wasn't playing the Rescue Cat engine, I would probably drop this down to 2. In a link format, a lot of link monsters are being summoned, so there's really no need for the piercing. However, it does punish scapegoats, but I'm playing the Rescue Cat engine inside my deck, so that I need to maximize on always having Rescue Cat live. So he's really good. However, if you don't play the Rescue Cat engine, I would advise cutting one. Other than that, he's still pretty good. He really punishes Scapegoat, which I really like. If they flip Scapegoat on you, you just still womp them for double day. It's just good. So 2 Recluse. This is actually a card. If I did cut the Rescue Cat engine and bump this down, I'd put this at 3. And I'll see a lot of people playing this at 2, and I can understand why. But the reason behind it at 3 is it's such a board breaker. It and Crown together you pretty much special, if they, most boards nowadays will sometimes just stop on a Summon Sorceress or end on a Saryuja. Minus Goki, who extra link you, but that's a different story. But if they give you Saryuja, you just special the Crown. The Crown can stop the Tri-Gate. The Crown can stop any form of extra deck monster that they have that is reactive to you. And Reclusia is just a bait. Like, in all honesty, it is also a chain blocker, as it can be chain link 2, and your Crusadia's link monsters can be chain link 1. So being able to summon this from your hand to pretty much bait the Tri-Gate, to be able to bait the Sleeper, to pop the Resort, to pop whatever you need, whatever it needs to pop, is really good. But since I am playing the Rescue Cat engine, I've decided to cut this down to 2. But however, if I were to cut that, I'd put this up to 3 because this deck does want to go second. And however, this card may be bad going first, going second, it is really good because, like I said, it baits out back row, it baits out negations to allow you to proceed with your further Crusadia plays. After that, you play 2 World Legacy Crown. I've seen people cutting this deck, not playing this, see people playing this at 1 and 2. I believe 2 is the right number because, like I said, when you're summoning into an established board, Crown is really good there to be a sort of protection. It also is a pseudo Crusadia monster by summoning itself from the hand to a zone a link monster points to. It's also another form of negation you can end on, and its 2k attack allows your equal max to be giant. The Crown, its normal summon effect doesn't come up, however I could see it potentially becoming better. When we do get Crusadia Crawler, it'll become searchable. Other than that, I don't think 1 is correct because you do want to see this card. You do want to have this in your arsenal to either open it or bring it out with Vanguard. However, I don't think 3 because 3 you brick with it and 1 you don't seed enough. Now finally, to the Rescue Cat engine part. I was very back and forth with this for a while. After it kind of got, if you guys watched the Danger video that I played, I was very careless with it. I decided to go against what I preached in my last video, which was if you don't have Called by the Grave in this card, and if it's not your only card that you can play, you don't go for Rescue Cat. You want to go with the safest play, and I had the 3-card combo in my hand, a Kaiju and 2 Crusadias, and the ability to protect a Crusadia. So it was just my fault, my misplay. However, I see people not playing this card, and personally I feel like this card just extends your ceiling so much just because of its ability to put 2 monsters on board and your just ability to go off and spam and link away. It being Ashed and Call of the Grave does suck, however, it's a high risk, greater return, because if you resolve Rescue Cat, there is pretty much a 98% chance that you are going to win that game. And it's so good going second because it's an extender, and by going first, it's a starter. To finish off with the whole package, you play 1 Valeraphon. You can also play Elephon, but this is to make a Natura Beast plus Equal Max first turn, which is really good, especially if Equal Max has a negate. I just can't. I was very iffy on this card for a while. Shout out to Adam Justice. Me and him deck theorize a lot, and I was throwing it at him like, man, I don't know about Rescue Cat. Man, I don't know. And then upon testing more, I realized Rescue Cat is really good. That's another reason why I love this deck, because you can play this deck with so many different engines and the engines you want to play, and it doesn't matter because the deck will still do what it wants to do. I, however, like this because it increases my ceiling more. But enough about Rescue Cat. Now for the only hand traps you are playing, or I am playing personally. I'm playing 3 Ash. It is the most versatile. However, I feel like if I had a 3rd Droll, I would play 3 Drolls instead of 3 Ash, because Droll will stop your opponent in his tracks. Ash just kind of delays or can potentially, a perfectly timed Ash can stop a whole play, but a offset Ash can just slow down or make a good board just a little bit less good. But it's the most versatile hand trap. It can just hit almost everything, and I like it. I've also even considered cutting this to play more combo pieces, just because sometimes you can clog, which is top decking Ash, and you don't need a top deck Ash. You need a top deck a monster. But I digress. Having a hand trap, having a way to playing second, it just allows you to have some interaction on your opponent's turn. Now, on my previous video, you guys saw that I played only 3 Kaijus. Well, I've kind of upped that now. So we play 2 Gamma Seal, 1 Sticky String, and 1 Dogoron. Now, personally, you can play whatever lineup you want. The bigger ones, of course, allow you to do more damage. However, I like Shiny, and since this deck was robbed of its rarity and pretty much given all common, I decided to play all Shiny Kaijus. it's pretty much the same sense as before. If you see, as long as you see a Kaiju, as long as you see a Kaiju plus any 2 Crusadias, you have a 98 to 95% chance to win the game. I'm not really good at statistics, so don't quote me on it, but it's broken. If you see more than 1, if you see 2, you're definitely going to win the game. It's really good. They're kind of pseudo Crusadia monsters as well. If you Kaiju your opponent, have another one, you can special the other one below the Magius or the Regulex, and get your search. I decided to up the count just for the simple fact that I wanted to have a chance to open it, and I also put in Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. So I wanted to, if I opened Dogoron, I wanted to have Kaiju Slumber live in case I needed it. But that's it for the Kaiju. So that's it for the monsters. It's a giant monster count, guys. It's a giant monster count. But we'll jump on to the Crusadia spells. You play 2 power and 1 revival. My last profile, if you guys notice, I played 3 power. And 3 power, I still am very iffy on because it pretty well is necessary. However, in my personal testing, I opened multiples of it multiple times. So I decided to do the philosophy where 1's too little, 3's too much, 2 should be just right. And then Crusadia Revival, you just want to search it. It allows you just to OTK quicker. Another card to shout out to, I can't remember his name, Rahad. He's on the Crusadia page on Facebook. I think Black Garden is another option you can play, which is very good in this deck. It allows you to play second if they pass, because as you all know, Crusadias kind of need a monster to kill. So if they just pass, Black Garden allows you to pretty much kill them for free. And then it also has some cool plays by using Black Garden to tribute itself to summon back Maximus and Arborea, I think. But that's it for the Crusadia spells. Onto the non-Crusadia spells. 3 Called by the Grave. Like I said in the previous video, you are a combo deck. You want to resolve your combos, and by having this along with Crusadia Power here, you're almost guaranteed to resolve your combos, which is really good. Stopping the hand traps, sometimes stopping Ash, Ogre, Veeler are really good, or mostly just effective, to be honest with you, because this deck can pretty much construct its chain links to dodge, Ogre, Ash. So, I mean, and Droll really doesn't really hurt this deck. Once you get the 1 search, you're almost, and as long as they have a monster, you're pretty much guaranteed to kill him no matter what. So, Call by is just to stop just any hand trap that could potentially, because you're not always going to open the God hand. Sometimes you're just going to open the bare minimum, and all it needs is 1 interruption. So this card is in here to stop the 1 interruption. On to the next card is 3 Sky Striker Mech Hornet Drones. This card is busted just because it facilitates you so much advantage, and you summon Kagari, which Kagari allows you to chum block your Magius. The ability just to get an extra monster is also really good. This card, along with Rescue Cat and 1 other Crusadia, the 3 card combos this deck has with this is just unreal. It's crazy. But as we all know, the ban list is coming, and I fear that this card might be on it. And if this card is hit, I have definitely other options you can play for it. However, they're not like, nothing can be Hornet Drones, so they are a little bit less. One option to shout out to if you don't have Hornet Drones is one-time passcode. You can also play the Phantom Knight of Shade Brigadier in the deck, which I think is really good. If Hornet Drones does go to 1, I'm definitely going to play one-time passcode and 1 Shade Brigadier along with it, just because it's too good not to play. However, I don't feel like paying $70 right now, considering they could go up or they could go down for engages. But Hornet Drones, as long as it's at 3, we will play it at 3. Now on to the final last 5 cards. 2 Successions and 1 Monster Reborn. I really like World Legacy Succession. It's so nice to play it in a World Legacy deck to where the theme kind of fits. But pretty much these 2 cards are just extenders. So they're really good extenders. You can pretty much open 1 Crusadia, and as long as if you open both of these plus a Crusadia, you pretty much have your combo all together in 1. World Legacy Succession is a worse Monster Reborn by the fact it's once per turn. However, in the future, it will be searchable, and even when it does become searchable, I feel like I will not cut it down for the simple fact that you want to open this card rather than search it, when you can search other cards, such as, when the card does come out, I'm going to test with Lance. You can search World Legacy Lance, World Legacy, any World Legacy card you want. But I feel like when Crusader Crawler does come out, it's just going to be really good. We're going to finally have a solid first turn. But that's it for the revival spells. And then finally, 1 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. So you can nuke your opponent's board, give them a Kaiju, give you 1, and continue to kill. The final card is one Crusadia Vanguard. This card is still really good. It allows you to protect your Gnat Beast when you make it, and your ability to have interruption on your opponent's turn by either tagging out for Recluse or tagging out for Crown to boost your Equal Max. There is, if you do like kind of like some cheesy World Legacy plays, you can play one Lance and one Armor, and then just tag out your Crusadias for an Armor, then add the Lance, and then your monster will get, your Equal Max will gain 2,500. Other than that, that's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, I think, after the last I counted. There's not really much I would change, to be honest with you, until the list comes out. It's pretty solid. I really like it. If you have access to the full Sky Striker engine, play it. If you don't have access to Cat, don't play it. Like I said, that's why I enjoy this deck so much, is that you can... The whole core of the deck does what it does. Just the extra engines you play can all vary on how you want to play in your personal preference. But we will jump on to the extra deck. And again, guys, going to shout out to this beautiful Field Center. I will put her email down below, and please shoot her an email and get your custom Field Center ordered today. We'll do the extra deck. You have your tokens, which I love Fate Apocrypha, so these are my tokens. You play 3 Magius. Magius is your starter card. You want to get this. You want to resolve this card. He searches any Crusadia monster from the deck. He will grab you what you need to get the OTK. There is now a combo that I've discovered. If you guys want to see it, it revolves Nightmare Griffin. You pretty much just lock you don't entirely lock. You pretty much shut down their field with Nightmare Griffin, and you make it to where Griffin cannot. They can make a link monster. It's pretty much a co-linked Griffin with Magius and a Phoenix. And it's just a way to particularly shut down or make it rougher for your opponent to activate their special summon monsters. I chose the Griffin combo over the Gumbler combo just because I don't like discarding cards, and I realized when you're going first, you don't want to be top decking. You want to have a majority of your cards, so... And then it's another combo to where if you're by some unknown reason you can't OTK your opponent, you can just do this combo and end it, and pretty much just lock it kind of in place. But if you guys want to see that combo, please comment down below for the Griffin combo, and please give this video a like, and if we get enough likes and enough of the community want it, I will deliver it. But 3 Magius, 2 Regulex. If you guys don't know what Regulex does, Regulex allows you to search for a Crusadia spell or trap. As of right now, there's only 3, but we will soon get Crusadia Crawler, which I think will pretty much outshine Vanguard in a sense. But he's also very good because since he has arrow pointing up, you can pretty much facilitate your OTKs with him alone. And if you watched the Danger Phantom Knight Hero Brick deck, I was able to OTK with Regulex and a Crusadia Maximus. So please check out that video too. Shout out, and then I guess not shout out, but to talk, there will be another Crusadia Link 2 coming out, and I think she is really good. She'll be a solid 1 of in the deck. I heard Crusadia Versarda. She has a marker pointing to your left and down, the same as Cerberus, and I think that arrow pointing down will allow this deck to experiment with the Nightmare cards more than what it is, but that's for testing in the future. I really like it. It's a really good card. It will definitely be a 1 of when the future set comes out. 2 Equal Max. The Big Daddy himself. If you guys don't know what Equal Max does, Equal Max gains the attack of all monsters he points to, which he has 3. He's a decode, and monsters he points to can't attack. Once per turn, quick effect, you can tribute 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster this card points to, and target 1 face-up card on the field and negate it. For people who do not know, since it does target, it can interrupt chain links, which means if your opponent, for instance, I'm thinking of some Spirals, or what's another good deck that can chum block? World Chalice, you can interrupt a chain link with Equal Max, which is really good. He is your boss monster. He just allows you to plow over, and not to mention the artwork on him is really cool. I really like him. He is the win condition of the deck. For the Sky Striker cards, 1 Hayate, 1 Kagari. Hayate is really cool because you're able to link and get an arrow pointing down to facilitate your Crusadia combos. Kagari is just there to chum block the Magius and to get back Hornet Drones to continue that extra advantage. In some cases, it will come up that we were playing and what did I do? I normal summon Cat. I went to activate the effect. He impermanents it. The Cat still, no, he doesn't impermanence it. He ashed it. The Cat still pays for cost and sends to the graveyard. I made Kagari, linked down, added back Hornet Drones, linked for Hayate, used Hornet Drones again, and then I activated World Legacy Secession. And if I'm wrong, please comment and let me know below. But as far as the reading and the ruling went on Cat, since his effect was negated by Ash, and it doesn't say you can activate, it says you can only use this effect, I was able to just pretty much use Cat all over again. If I'm wrong, please let me know below. If not, that's a cool interaction you guys can do. For the Nightmares, we play 1 Phoenix and 1 Unicorn. So this is where you kind of notice that there's kind of a drop in Nightmares. We're missing Cerberus. You want your opponent to have a monster, so I felt spot removal for monsters is already solved by the main deck Reclusia. However, back row, though, on the other hand, with the set 5 pass decks such as True Draco and Altergeist, these guys were better because these guys potentially allow you to remove the back row and remove the problem cards. Another interesting card I'm playing is Nightmare Griffin. I like Griffin, and I've been testing with him, and I really like this better. He is really good because, of course, he says, you know, monsters that aren't summoned to a link zone, where a link marker points to, can't activate their effects. He also allows you to grab back your Vanguard. He allows you to grab back your Powers, your Call by the Graves. In the future, he will allow you to even add back the Crusader Paladin, or not the Crusader Crawler, which will be remarkable, allow you to have another search and add to another search. He is part of the combo which I will show you at the end. I won't show you the combo, but I'll show you the ending board with it. He's just really good. He's kind of a, like I said, if you can't OTK by some reason, he allows you to end on it. It's a board you can end on. For the last link, Topologic Trisbania, this is a new add-in. When we played recently against Altergeist, it was definitely a problem, so I decided to add this in. This deck can really link climb to link 3 really quick, and you just pretty much, instead of going to equal max, go to Trisbania, and you pretty much continue to spam the field and banish their back row. So it's really good. The burn effect also can come up. For the last 2 cards, we have F.A. Dawn Dragster and Natura Beast. Spell and Trap Negation and Limited Spell Negation. You kind of want to end on these first turn, or end your finishing board with them when going second if you can't kill. So guys, that is it for the extra. We'll jump into my side. So for my side, for going first cards, 3 Mind Crush. There can only be 1 is probably going to go in here when I go to a regional, but Mind Crush is really good for sniping out those combo pieces when they add it to hand. It can really be devastating when they're banking on it. 3 Shared Ride. Shared Ride is pretty much the max seat of the format, especially when you're going first, setting this and making a pretty decent board with equal max and possibly another form of negation. They will pretty much facilitate you more pluses, meaning you get more cards to, if they do break your board, you will just pretty much OTK them back, which is really good by regaining all your card advantage. 3 Red Reboot. For a little bit, I did not like this card. I thought that Hey Trunade outshined it. However, upon a lot more intense testing at locals, this card shined really great. I really like it. It pretty much shuts down the trap deck and allows you to OTK. 3 Hey Trunade. Hey Trunade will definitely become Twin Twisters. I was testing with it, and since floodgates are becoming more and more prominent, I think Twin Twisters just have a better place to do. And since whatever you discard off of Twin Twisters, you can add back with Draco, allows you to facilitate what you paid as cost for Twin Twisters. 3 Effect Veiler. It's one of those cards that are really good. Another good card to go second when you know your matchup. But anyway, guys, that is the deck profile. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And before we go, I will show you. So the Magius or the Griffin combo, it just pretty much ends you. Let's see here. Let's do. We'll put that there. It just ends you with this right here. This is all it ends you with. And a potential set, power set, call by set, Crusadia Vanguard. And if you guys don't know, everything can't be destroyed by battle, which means they won't be able to get rid of your Magius. If you have a set Vanguard down here, whatever they put up here link monster-wise, you can just pop it. So it's just a good combo to end on. So thank you guys. Please stay tuned for future and more content. And again, happy Labor Day.